right, what's up everybody? Go ahead and get started here in just a moment. If you can hear me and if we are streaming in 1080p, just go ahead and give us a thumbs up in the chat and we'll get started here in just a moment. We're currently on 2nd Avenue, so we're over on the east side tonight. Very seldom are we over all the way on the east side, and we are on East 30th Street tonight, but I think we're going to be walking downtown. We're going to go towards Washington Square Park. We'll check out the village. It'll be cool. It'll be fun. So we'll get started here in a moment. All right, looks like we're good to go. A little bit of a traffic jam here on 2nd Avenue. Well, good evening everybody and welcome back to Walks on Wall Street. Today is Sunday. However, we are not going to be doing our Markets to Look Ahead live stream. We're going to be moving that to tomorrow. Tomorrow is President's Day, so I want to wish everybody a very happy President's Day tomorrow and an enjoyable long weekend. It is a bank holiday, so there will be no banks open, the market will be closed, fixed income trading will be closed as well. So we'll just walk around tonight. We'll explore the city. Once again, we are on the east side of Manhattan. This is East 30th Street and 2nd Avenue. But tonight we're probably going to be walking all the way down to the village, East Village and the West Village, depending on how much time we have. And the temperature's been improving quite a bit. I think it's supposed to be like 55 degrees tomorrow. It's pretty cold today in the city, but temperature is increasing here. So let's say hello to everybody in the chat. I see Dave, what's up? Western Mass Dave, Karina Thompson. I see D, Estelle, Richard Vogel. Good to see you. Vinny, DC3, Venus Sandoval. Sharon, good to see everybody. Patrick. All right, let's get started. Let's walk down 2nd Avenue. Very, very rarely do we explore this neighborhood. There's a lot of bars. You'll see like a lot of side shops, like ice cream places, but a lot of taverns, like a lot of Irish taverns going all the way down to about 23rd Street. And I would say this neighborhood specifically, there's a lot of younger individuals, working professionals who choose to move here, mainly because rent is a little bit cheaper. And a lot of these older style, I would say pre-war buildings are really good for roommates, right? So if you're just starting and kickstarting your career off in Manhattan, you can get 2 or 3 roommates. You know, everybody pays like $1,100 and it's pretty affordable to live in Manhattan, right? And the neighborhood has, you know, a lot of nightlife, bars, taverns, restaurants, bodegas, pretty much everything you would need. Target is right here on East 29th Street. So not a bad neighborhood if you're just moving to New York City, especially if you're a younger, I would say younger working professional looking to save a little money on rent. Daryl is here from Chicago, Illinois. What's going on? Deja Vu. This is what's the FOMC going to do at the upcoming meeting? I'm not too sure. I'm actually not really too sure. Guys, check out this view of the Empire State Building. Pretty cool shot, right? So Empire is on 34th Street and 5th. This is East 29th Street and 2nd. So not only do you have that shot of the Empire, but you can see a little bit of the Chrysler Building, the spire right here. But, you know, I'll try to answer the question to the best of my ability. No one really knows, but if I had to guess, I think we're going to continue to be in this environment of higher for longer, even though, again, if you look at the CME Fed watch tool, it's pricing in at least 3 interest rate cuts for the year. I don't really think that's going to happen. I mean, look what happened last week. We had CPI and PPI coming in hotter than expected, right? CPI, the headline number, was supposed to come in at 2.9. We came in at 3.1. So is 3% inflation the new normal? I don't think it should be. I don't think the Fed's going to tolerate that. So, you know, I like to list the following data points here. The economy is strong. Okay, you know, we could debate that till the cows come home. Is the economy really strong or not? But if you look at the data, and I understand, you know, the stock market is not the economy. I understand that. But look at the unemployment rate. We have some of the lowest unemployment in the country's history. Okay. We have equity markets at all-time record highs, and we have a residential real estate market that is still very, very tight. Okay, prices haven't come down all that much. Competition is actually starting to heat up in the marketplace. So there's really no catalyst for the Fed to cut. Like, what economy would we need to be stimulating right now? If anything, inflation's not back down to the 2% target yet. So there's no reason for the Fed to cut. Now, to play devil's advocate a little bit, what the market could be pricing in is a situation, okay, or like a black swan event, if you will, that nobody's really foreseeing that could force the Federal Reserve to cut, right? If we have another, you know, kink in the banking system, if we have another, you know, Silicon Valley type bank deal, something like that, if something in the commercial real estate sector blows up, maybe that would force the Fed to start easing. But as of right now, I really don't see a reason for them to cut rates. Look at all these pigeons. Hey, Ed Dunkel, what's up? Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it. The ABX girl from the Bronx. Welcome, welcome. Addie Lulu's, good evening. Long time no see, by the way. Thanks so much for joining us. You know, I got to give you guys a quick update because I went to the Centurion Lounge at the very top of One Vanderbilt. I believe it takes up the entire 53rd floor. Highly recommend it, by the way. If you have not gone, and if you have the opportunity to do so, that is a really fun time. Okay, so I would give that, you know, if I had to score it on a scale of 1 to 10, that was like a 9-9. That was a really good time. Like, amazing. I've never really had an experience like that before. So, the American Express Centurion Lounge, there's really 3 sections of it. Number 1, there's like a bar and lounge where you don't actually have to have a sit-down dinner. Number 2 is kind of like a lobby waiting area where you can just hang out. And number 3 is a formal sit-down dining room that's unbelievable. Like, this thing is absolutely unreal. Not exaggerating. The table that they sat us down at, we had a crazy view of the Empire State Building, and to the left, you could see the entire spire of the Chrysler Building. So, a little tip. If anybody's coming to New York City and you want to do something, you know, out of the ordinary, that's really fun, check it out. The American Express Lounge that sits at the very top of One Vanderbilt. It's pretty cool. Not bad. Hey, Sharon says, how was the 130? William, was there an open house? No, there wasn't an open house. I'm taking a buyer there. And we're really, really close to getting a deal done. So one of my clients wants to move to Lower Manhattan, and I've been showing them different properties. And I've been saying all this time in the search, I'm like, look, the best building to be in Lower Manhattan is 130 William, okay, by far. For the value you get, price per square foot, But we've been seeing a lot of other units, like 88 Greenwich Street. We've seen, I mean, so much other stuff. But see, here's the other thing, right? When you're thinking about buying something, you also want to think about how you're going to get out of it down the line. Because many people think, oh, I'm going to buy this place and I'm never going to sell it. Well, that may be true, but you never know. Life happens, and life is very hectic, and life is very crazy. So even though, right, you're purchasing, quote unquote, a forever home, you always want to think, okay, is it going to be easy for me to get out of this? And if you look at 130 William, it was the best-selling condo of 2022 in Manhattan. It's a 90% sellout, and the average resale is on the market for less than 60 days. So the thing is such in high demand in the building, and it rents really well. So, you know, a lot of the other buildings in Lower Manhattan are condo conversions, okay? And we've been talking about this on the live stream for quite some time, because there was a lot of office buildings, a lot of older office buildings down in Lower Manhattan, and they've since been converted into condominiums. The problem is the windows are very small, it's very dark. You know, even though some of these buildings have good amenities, a lot of the amenity set is in the basement, so it makes it very dark. So, yeah, I mean, not to ramble, but long story short, I was just taking around a buyer. This is the third time showing that unit, and I think we're pretty close to getting a deal done there. So, fingers crossed. It's a great property. So, all right, where are we? This is East 23rd Street and 2nd Avenue. Let's cross 23rd. I actually want to head in a little bit, so let's go ahead and bang this right and go all the way to the Flatiron building. Now, it's kind of funny that we're talking about condo conversions, because one of the most famous, I would say, conversion projects that's going to be going on right now in Manhattan is right over here at the Flatiron building. So Lady Luck's is what's going to happen to, the city if the truckers follow through with their boycott. I don't even know what that is. What do you mean the truckers follow through with their boycott? I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm out of the loop. Michael John says, any thoughts on the trucker boycott? There's a trucker boycott? I don't know. To be quite honest, I have no idea. I haven't even heard that there was a trucker boycott. Please enlighten us in the chat. Hey, Michelle K, what's up? This is good evening, Tom and team. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate you. Cosmos Harry says, some truckers allegedly want to stop delivering to New York because of the Trump ruling. I don't know. That's out of my control, so. Anything that I can't control immediately, it's just negate, figure it out. I can't focus on that stuff. I try to almost like isolate my mind from the political stuff. So I obviously heard about the Trump ruling, right? I have my thoughts about it, but I just don't even think it's worth really talking about. But because there's nothing I could do about it. And yeah, that's really about it. RPT says happy Sunday. Thank you so much, RPT. This is 3rd Avenue now. You know, I'll actually show you guys some of my projects since we're down here. You're gonna see a nice mix of a lot of these older pre-war buildings. Really nice fire escapes here. And then you'll have a lot of this new construction. Now, there's one of my favorite new developments that's coming up pretty soon, actually. It's gonna be right on 20th Street. I believe the address is 200 East 20th. It's an awesome new development. Now, the sales team was nice enough to give me a tour of the property, and it's not even built yet. So it was kind of a cool experience, right? Because it was a construction site, so I had to put a hard hat on. I went all the way to the roof. I toured one of the model units, and it's supposed to be fully completed, right? Which means they would get the certificate of occupancy in the summer of 2025. And they already have 10 units in contract. I mean, think about that. Already 10 units in contract. It's pretty good. So now, I'm sure all of you see Cosmo's Scary in the chat here. He's our moderator, but he's also a former Baruch Bearcat. And this is where we are right now. This is the campus of Baruch College. This is one, I would say, the top most competitive CUNY school right here on Lexington Avenue and East 23rd Street. And Baruch College is mainly known for their financial school, right? Quite obviously, Bernard Baruch, one of the greatest stock market operators of all time. But across the street so you guys can see, look at how cool that view is. You could see all the way up to the Chrysler Building. Now, Lexington Avenue will take you to a straight shot right at Grand Central Terminal, right? So you have pretty cool views from here. Just 2 blocks south of us, guys, is Gramercy Park. Right here. So Gramercy Park is a private park, and you can only access it if you have an apartment surrounding the park and you have a key. Pretty interesting, right? Hey, Fun Feeds, what's going on? Tim, Peter says, is it easier to buy, sell a billionaire row condo or a townhouse of equal value? You know, if you get up into the very, very high price points, you know, those things tend to sit on the market for a while, or if it's like a one-of-one, very, very unique product, you know, usually the brokers who are listing those properties have a big network of clients that are looking for something like that to come on the market, and it goes automatically. And I'll give you an example of that. 157 West 53rd Street, which is the first building ever developed on New York City's Billionaires Row by Extel. The 83rd floor, the entire 83rd floor apartment, was on the market for, I believe, $34 million. It was on for 2 weeks. It went under contract and sold for $31 million. The broker was Noble Black, which is, in my opinion, one of the greatest real estate brokers in New York City. Great guy. He works on our floor. But others, I mean, look at the deal that just went into contract at Central Park Tower. You know, that sat for over a year. So it really just depends on the uniqueness of the property. Now, we are actually outside one of my projects right here. This building, 139 East 23rd Street. This building is brand new. Every single unit in the building is a dedicated floor, right? So every apartment has its own floor, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,500 square feet each apartment. And we just closed last week on unit 2. So this one that doesn't have any lights on, we just closed it. Last asking price was $2,495,000. And that is the only unit in the building at Gramercy North that has dedicated outdoor space. There's about 580 square feet of outdoor space. You could put a nice pergola out there. It's a cool unit. It's awesome. Your private elevator drops you off into your open concept living room and kitchen. It's a really unique apartment. And if you guys want to see what it looks like, I actually recorded a property tour. If you type !23 in the chat, so !23 in the chat, you can see the entire property tour, the unit that we just closed on. And now this building is over 80% sold. We only have 3 remaining units on the market: floor 12, floor 14, and floor 15. So yeah, right next to Baruch College, where our good pal Cosmo Scary, his alma mater, right? And you also have Gramercy Theater right here. It's a cool neighborhood. Now, this was a long time ago. I actually went to an options seminar. Is anybody familiar with the gentleman Tom Sosnoff? So he was one of the original guys pretty much to be running the Chicago options pits back in the day. He broke off and created his own company, Tasty Trade. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with that. He had an event here and I went. Very fun, very cool guy. Yeah, that was the first time I've ever been to Gramercy Theater. Hey, Michelle Henry says, I think I'm in the wrong business. I need to be a real estate agent in New York City. It's a tough business. It's a very tough grind. Because, you know, you got to think about it like this, right? You get no salary, you get no benefits. You're essentially on your own. If you don't close anything, you don't make any money. And on top of it, you're living in the most expensive city in the world, pretty much, right? So, you know, you're paying $5,000 a month for rent and you make no money. I mean, unless you're selling, right? So it's tough. It's tough. I would say if anybody's interested in getting in the broker business or the development business, try to have a former successful career in something else so that you have a big cash cushion to launch this career, right? It's very difficult to kind of get into the business if you don't already have an existing book of business from a previous career, if you don't already have a big network, and if you don't have at least some money saved up, because you don't get paid, you don't make any money. All right, this is Park Avenue South. This used to be the old Credit Suisse. Credit Suisse is now one with UBS now. Cool neighborhood. Hey, Sam Banks, as you ever walk by the Comedy Store / Cellar? You know, I don't know where that is. To be totally honest with you, I actually don't know where that is. Where is it, by the way? If you tell me where it is, I'd actually love to walk past it, because I've never been there myself. Now, the first comedy show I've ever been to was actually 2 weeks ago. I went to see Amy Poehler and Tina Fey at the Beacon Theater on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and it was so fun. Like, I was not expecting to have as good of a time as I've had. That was such a good show. Beacon Theater is an amazing venue, and I really enjoyed Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, so it was a fun time. Okay, now we're headed towards the center of the island of Manhattan. This is Madison Avenue, and most notably Madison Square Park. Oh, Sam Banks says it's 117 MacDougal Street. You know, we might as well head there today, because I was going to go down by Washington Square Park anyway. So, I mean, we might as well go there now. I'm actually glad you brought that up. All right, everybody. Beautiful shot of the Empire State Building. And right here, One Vanderbilt, where they have the Summit at One Vanderbilt and also the American Express Centurion Lounge. I know, Dave's like, those are always the best times when you have way more fun than you would expect. For sure, for sure. Colton Manning, what's up? Thanks so much. Caitlin's is jealous, it sounded like fun. It was an awesome time, and you know, I won't mention his name, but one of you guys, a very generous and kind viewer of the stream, gave me those tickets. Apparently somebody, a viewer, is head of security for Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. So thank you so much for those tickets. It was a blast. It's a fun time. So you never know who you're gonna meet for internet's a crazy place. All right, this is Madison Square Park. I believe one of the first Shake Shacks is in this park right here. Someone says, what is the Centurion Lounge for? I thought it was only airports. Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I thought the same thing. I thought the Centurion Lounge was only at airports as well, but Apparently, Amex has the entire 53rd floor, I think, at One Vanderbilt. And there's 3 parts, kind of like 3 separate divisions of the Centurion Club. Number 1, it's a bar, right? If you don't want formal dining, you could just go have a drink, you know, kind of enjoy the views. And the views are insane. The views are incredible. Number 2 is a formal dining room. You could have, you know, a 3-course meal or a 5-course meal. It's very expensive, but I mean, as you can imagine, it's a little pricey. And then the 3rd is kind of just a lounge where you just hang out. So yeah, I was invited to go up, and I was like, sure. And it was awesome. The table where we sat down, we had a direct view of the Empire State Building, and to our left, you had a direct view of the Chrysler Building, the Spire. And it was just awesome. Really, really cool place. So here it is. This is the one and only Flatiron Building right here. And they're going to be doing a total gut renovation to this building, and it's going to be condominiums. So pretty soon, right here in the Flatiron District, you are able to purchase a condominium or purchase an apartment right here. Pretty cool. Now, this used to be the best view ever of the Empire State Building until it got obstructed by this mega tall skyscraper. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but all right, let's make a left here. Oh, cool. Swango a go-go. It says, after dropping off my bags in my room, my first stop is always Shake Shack when I visit the city. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, there's Shake Shacks all over the place. Not a huge fan of Shake Shack. I'm more of a Five Guys type person, but yeah, James Davidson says Tom, March is supposed to be a much warmer month with temperature much above normal according to the long range outlook. Well, I hope so. I mean, I'm totally over winter. As you guys can imagine, not a big fan of winter, but hopefully the worst is behind us in terms of the cold and the snow. I would love if it would be 50 degrees every day from here on out. At the end of the day, though, New York has a mind of its own. 2 weeks ago, it was 60 degrees. We were doing these live streams in 60-degree weather. Then it got extremely, extremely cold, and we had 2 kind of mini snowstorm events, and then it was just cold. So I think we deserve a little bit of a break. I think the thing I love the most about the Flatiron District is all of this beautiful architecture. I mean, look at that. We haven't ventured down here in a long time, mainly because we've been staying around Midtown Manhattan, you know, Billionaires Row, 57th Street. And all the architecture is pretty much the same over there in Midtown. You know, floor-to-ceiling glass windows, these big glass skyscrapers. You don't really get much cool stuff like this. Hey, Doug Thompson says, hey Tom, I will be in New York City for the first time next week. Whoa, awesome, man. Would you recommend going to the top of the Empire State Building or One World Trade Center? Which is better? Whew. Well, You know, I would say actually go to the top of the Rockefeller Center, to be honest. That would be my piece of advice to you. I think the top of the Rock is the best for the following reasons. If you're at the top of the Empire State Building, you can't see the Empire State Building, right? And I think the view is better when you could see the Empire and the Freedom Tower or the Trade Center in one shot. If that makes sense. Excuse me. I think the Edge, which is at the Hudson Yards, right, is a little bit too far west. And I think Summit at One Vanderbilt, I'd never been to Summit at One Vanderbilt, but again, I mean, I was on the 53rd floor of the building. That was awesome. So I would say either the top of Rockefeller Center, or I do Summit at One Vanderbilt. Tease, what are your thoughts on the layoffs going around corporate America and ruining people's livelihoods? Well, I don't know if I would take such a drastic take like that. I'd say, layoffs in many cases are just normal cyclical events that happen in business cycles, right? And unfortunately, right, it's horrible when anybody gets laid off. You never want to see that. I mean, I would hope you would never want to see that unless you're like a sociopath. But the problem is the following, right? When you have the Federal Reserve, keeping accommodative monetary policy for far too long, that really gasses the business cycle. So that turbocharges the economy, and that forces companies to, overhire. And that's kind of what we saw during the pandemic. Does that make sense? So we had all of this fiscal and monetary stimulus being jammed into the economy. You had artificially low interest rates, so companies could take on debt pretty much in perpetuity to hire employees, to expand their operations. And everybody was staying home and ordering things online. People were buying houses, and the trickle-down effects in the economy. If you're buying a house, well, guess what? You're probably gonna have to buy furniture for the house. You're probably gonna have to buy food for the house. You're probably gonna do some renovations at home, right? You're gonna be ordering things online. Oh, you bought a house, you're gonna need a car to go in the driveway. You buy cars, right? So once the Fed started to raise interest rates, that kind of put a big pause on a major portion of the economy. And this is what we've been talking about for the last 3 years, okay? I mean, for just a very, very quick example, look at home sales in 2022 and 2023. It's been the lowest transaction volume ever, even worse than the Great Financial Crisis. There was less homes resold last year than in the depths of the financial crisis, right? So that's kind of how it works, is you have interest rates go up, you have transaction volume pretty much siphon off, and then you usually have a little bit of a markdown in price. So as the economy slows down, you don't need all these jobs at these big companies. Look at Meta, right? We talked about their earnings report. Mark Zuckerberg nearly turned the company around. I think that's like the best, probably CEO of at least the last 5 years is Zuckerberg. I mean, think about what he did. Took the company from, they were pretty much running that thing into the ground. There was so much corporate bloat. They fired about 25% of the entire workforce. They got things back on track. Profitability tripled. And the stock is trading at all-time record highs now. So I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think the media likes to harp on all these job losses as big gloom and doom. But a lot of it, I'm not saying all of it, but a lot of the job losses are kind of return to normal levels at some of these big companies, right? That hired way, way too many people in the post-pandemic year or two when it was just euphoria. So, I mean, it's horrible. You never want to see it. I always think about those companies that were extreme irrational exuberance, like the Pelotons, you know, the Shopifys. I mean, those companies, I mean, cut 50% plus of their workforce. I mean, Wayfair, right, the online furniture store, they cut so many people, you know. So that's kind of my take on it. I mean, I don't know, what's your take? There's a good book I recommend everybody read. It's by one of the greatest hedge fund managers of all time, Ray Dalio. And it essentially explains in detail the business cycle and how interest rates impact the business cycle. And it's a very, very good book to kind of understand that. It's a good shot of the empire here. Mr. Gummy Bears says that's true. Meta was trading at $110 back in December. Hope everybody's all right. Hey, Trevor, this is Tom. I'm enjoying the stream. I've been subscribed for 3 years. Wow. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Coming to New York City in December, so I'm locked in. Love that. Thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate it. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. Also, just a quick announcement, by the way. Everybody, go ahead and check your email if you have not already. On Thursday, I sent out our third issue of the Behind the Street newsletter for 2024. We talked about a lot. We drilled down into specific sectors. We spoke about semiconductors. We spoke about housing, home builders, biotech. We pretty much did a deep dive into the individual sectors in the market. We talked about the Russell 2000. We talked about small caps. So go ahead and check your email if you didn't get the newsletter. And if you want to sign up for it, we send it out every other Thursday, right as the market closes. You could scan the QR code on your screen and punch in your email, and that'll take you to our Substack. We publish every other Thursday, right as the market's closing. And we also show a property tour of one of our exclusive listings. And this issue we saw La Botanica, which is an incredible property in the East Village. It's a triplex apartment, 3,000 square feet with 4 dedicated outdoor spaces. Let me know what you guys think. It's an interesting property. It's not for everybody. Okay, I'll just say that. It's an interesting layout, interesting floor plan. But a triplex in East Village, 3,000 square feet. It's an interesting one, I'll just say that. So let me know what you think. This is one of the best design schools in the world. This is the new school. Hey, Carol H, what's going on? Hey, Tom and friends. I'll check out your newsletter. Thank you. Appreciate it, Carol. And I will be back in Miami on March 1st. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it'll be bright sunshine and gorgeous weather when I'm down there. 11 says some of my best days have been when I'm unemployed. Puts perspective. Oops, lost your comments. Puts perspective on how bloated we are in America. Well, look, the only thing I could say is oftentimes looking back, the worst things that ever happened in your life, just give it like 5 years, and oftentimes that they're the best things that ever happened. It may sound crazy, but at least in my life, it's been true. So if you've gotten laid off, it's like a traumatic shock for the first, 6 months. But then you get over it and you're probably going to find a better opportunity. Okay. You got to put it into perspective that if you were smart enough, capable enough, and had the wherewithal to land that job in the first place, there's a high probability you're probably going to land another job. And sometimes you need that extra push, right? Chances are, right, all of the studies show that if you actually, change jobs once every 3 to 5 years, you tend to make more money. You get a higher pay bump than if you just stay at one company forever and just take the 2%, raise. So sometimes, the most tragic events could be blessings in disguise. So, hey, Dutchman, says Tom, will you eventually want to sell properties in Florida as well if you're not doing so already? I will never sell my properties in Florida, ever. I will give those to my kids. They'll stay in the family forever. I have no plans on selling. Oh, sorry, I misread that. Oh man, the wind is really picking up now. That's the one thing I don't like about New York in the winter, is the wind. You're talking about like selling, like in terms of the job? Yes. So the answer is yes. Let me put up my hood. The wind is cranking. I've already done one deal in Sunny Isles Beach, but I had to refer it out because I don't have my license yet. But yeah, we are looking at opening up an office right in Mid-Beach, Miami, pretty soon, like any day now, actually. So I'm excited. I love South Florida. I love New York City. So yeah, Brad's brain says, Tom, what if they found oil in your backyard? The land value could be worth 10 million. Now what's funny is anybody familiar with the Marcellus shale deposit in upstate New York? Anybody familiar with that? So if you're not, do some research into it. Apparently it's one of the most abundant sources of natural gas, but there was some very big protests, like the anti-fracking protests up there, so they never really drilled for it. But a lot of those people in upstate could have potentially been sitting on gold mines. It's called the Marcellus shale deposit. It's an interesting kind of story. It runs all the way up through upstate New York, just south of the Finger Lakes, kind of like near Skinny Atlas. Whoa, Zozo Bob. I didn't hear about that. Zozo Bob says, Tom, Santander has announced a new 750-foot office tower in Brickell. Whoa. That's exciting. Now, you know what, Zozo Bob? One of my buddies, who's a commercial real estate broker down there, sent me this article, and for the first time ever, Brickell City Center is 100% occupied. They have 100% occupancy at the Brickell City Center. That's quite incredible, right? It's pretty incredible. Just the growth that Miami has gone through is kind of nuts. Kind of nuts. Go says, I think you were getting close to where we used to bar hop after work. This is a really fun neighborhood for that. We're approaching Washington Square Park. I mean, this neighborhood in general is super fun, particularly, if we make a left, and let me just check. Oh yeah, we got time. Maybe we'll do that. If we make a left here, right at the top of Washington Square Park, it's gonna take us all the way to Astor Place, where the new Wegmans is. And then if you keep walking, it's St. Mark's Place. Now, I don't go there really anymore. I think I'm a little bit too old, but That's a fun little area there, St. Mark's Place. Lots of bars, cool restaurants. It's a much younger vibe, like college kids, things like that, but it's cool. It's really cool over there. Yeah, and the vast majority of all these buildings are owned by NYU, New York University. All right, welcome to Washington Square Park. When's the last time we've been here on the stream? Probably in the summer, actually. I don't think we've been here once this winter. I used to skateboard all around this park. Love the architecture on these homes here. Hey Kevin, this is Tom. What's your take on the incomplete ocean-wide plaza development in LA now riddled with graffiti? Kevin, to be honest, I don't even know about it. I think the first time I heard about it is right now. I'm not super familiar with LA. You know, I'm really not familiar with LA at all, to be honest. But well, what's supposed to be going on with it, I guess, is my question. Now, I'm going to be down in Miami March 1st, and I'm going to try to hit a lot of interesting properties for all of you to get some footage. I'm going to be doing a few property tours in Sunny Isles Beach, the Bentley site over there. I have a friend who listed a house in North Miami I want to get some footage of, and I think it'll add some nice diversity to the channel from our from our New York City property tours. This is bringing back a lot of memories. I used to do the same thing when I was a kid, teenager. I used to stay here till like 1 o'clock in the morning and do exactly this. Wow, Mark Francis says it's crazy. It's an abandoned high-rise in central LA. So I'm assuming there's probably squatters in there. Is that a good assumption? Hey, Tariq Khan, good to see you. Good to see you. What's going on? Welcome. Ed says, has the pro-Trump trucker boycott started in New York City? We've gotten a lot of questions about that tonight, and just in full transparency, I haven't really been paying attention to it. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's going to sound selfish. I can't pay attention to it. I can't pay attention to it. Robert Parker. Yeah, I mean, I still skateboard around every now and then, but, you know, I used to skateboard in Manhattan when there was no vehicles here because it was the pandemic. I think it's a little bit too dangerous for me to be weaving in that traffic at my age. But I was quite fearless, I should say, in my college years on the skateboard in New York City. Let's say that. Now, this is what I love about Washington Square Park. You got an unbelievable view of the Freedom Tower, God bless America, right here. One World Trade Center, 1776 feet tall, for the greatest country on earth ever. And then if you continue to walk right around the fountain, you're going to see the Empire come in perfectly aligned under the arch. Look at that. Cool, right? That's also lit up in red, white, and blue tonight. Michelle says, Tom, can you do one of your lives at the World Trade Center one time? Yeah, you know, I want to get back down there. It's just, the thing is, in the winter, it's tough getting down there because it's so windy and cold. And but in the summer, I mean, we crush all over the place. And also I've been working in the office a lot. But we will get down there for sure. I love Lower Manhattan. Funny enough, I'll be in Lower Manhattan tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I have a showing at 1 Wall Street. 1 Wall Street is the largest office to condo conversion in the city's history. The project was put on by Mackalow Properties, who is Harry Mackalow, right? Who's very famous for doing 432 Park on Billionaires Row. Oh, before I forget, guys, my friends, I'm so excited for the next property tour I'm gonna upload and share with all of you. So 157 West 57th Street, okay, was the first building ever constructed on New York City's Billionaires Row. The first one, okay? It kicked off this trend of these mega tall buildings on 57th Street. Now, 157 is almost 100% sold out, but there is one sponsor unit left, okay? There's one unit left that hasn't sold. And if you're wondering what a sponsor unit is, essentially it's just you're buying the unit from the developer. It's new construction, right? It's new product, new development. And I was able to get access to the unit, and I filmed a tour of the last available sponsor unit at 157. It's a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom apartment, but what's unique about it is it's one of 2 units in the entire building that has dedicated outdoor space. So you're 32 stories up above Billionaires Row, and you have a 400 square foot outdoor terrace. The thing is so cool. And I'm excited for you guys to see it. Now, it's priced a little bit high, right? It's like $3,000 a square foot for Billionaires Row, but it's really, really cool. And I'm excited for you guys to see it. I'll probably upload that, I don't know, Tuesday? Something along those lines, maybe Tuesday. But let's go to the Stern School of Business. This is the NYU Stern School of Business. And we always talk about this one particular professor. His name is Aswat Damodaran. So Professor Damodaran. He teaches 2 very, very sought after courses right here at the business school, which is literally right here. Securities analysis and corporate finance. The good news is the following. You can actually take these classes for free online. And in the previous newsletter that I wrote, I actually gave you guys the link to enroll in the class. So if you want to take a corporate finance class or security analysis class taught by one of the most famous and well-renowned professors in the business, okay, at NYU's Stern School of Business, please go visit our newsletter, and don't go to the last issue, go to 2 issues ago, and I included the link where you could sign up for free. Professor Damodaran is always on CNBC. He's nicknamed the Dean of Valuation, and he teaches right here at NYU's Stern School of Business. If you want a link to the newsletter, if you scan the QR code on your screen and punch in your email, that's our Substack. Or I think you could type !NYU in the chat, and it'll bring you to Professor Damodaran's page where you can enroll in that course for free. Now, you're not going to get any college credit, obviously. But what's more important about the credit and, you know, looking shiny on a piece of paper is the fundamental skills that you possess, right? That's what I truly believe. So I think it's well worth your time, okay? So check it out. Maybe you'll see me in the class. All right, let's head to MacDougal Street now. This is West 4th and Green Street. It's pretty cool. You have some of the original Belgian block streets. Yeah, Cooking Bro says I would love to be a professor at NYU, but the academia is insanely, what does it say? Competitive. It is, particularly NYU. I mean, it's, you know, one of the best business schools in the country, in my opinion. Hey, Carl Roth, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. And welcome to New York University. We are just at the south end of Washington Square Park, and now we are going to head through MacDougal Street and probably walk around the village a little bit. If I had to guess, the village is probably going to be packed because tomorrow everybody has off, right? It's President's Day, it's a bank holiday, so everything is closed. So people are probably going to be out partying. Hey, Danilo. This is hello from Brazil. What's up? Good to see everybody from Brazil. Wow, there's actually a lot of students in the, I don't know if this is the library, but there's a ton of students here tonight. Wow. The Elias, what's up? Just greetings, Tom. Hope you're having a good weekend. I'm having a good weekend, very restful. I'm kind of glad that tomorrow's a holiday. So happy President's Day to you. I think we all deserve a much needed day off. See the World Trade Center in the distance. Hey, Andy, what's up? From South Korea. Annyeonghaseyo to you. And Joan Jamal Bonet. Have a nice weekend. It's a nice Tesla Model X. Yeah, cooking. You could walk around the campus of NYU. NYU really doesn't have a traditional campus, right? It's an urban campus. So New York University owns so many buildings in the city. Anybody could walk through the streets of New York, but NYU has ownership over many of the buildings. That's the thing. This is Thompson Street. This is actually a pretty good coffee shop here. It's called Irving Farm. Now, this is going to make the transition into NoHo, and then finally, you'll have the transition into Soho. You'll see a lot of bars, a lot of restaurants, outdoor dining spaces. Look at this place. It almost looks like a speakeasy type vibe, I guess. Pretty cool, right? There's always these nice, kind of like underground places that you'll always pass. Hey, SoCal Lawrence. Since you get some good food last night, I did. It was good. Highly recommend. Highly recommend it. Let's go down this side street. It's actually pretty quiet. This is a pretty cool view of the Empire State Building. Look at that. Lit up in the traditional red, white, and blue. Hey, MBA Alliance, Tom. Thanks for the excellent newsletter. Highly recommend it to all. Appreciate you, MBA Alliance. Hopefully you enjoyed it. What did you think about La Botanica, by the way? I'm asking everybody for feedback. We're getting a lot of emails about it. Quite the interesting triplex. Okay, now this, maybe we'll check out the Comedy Cellar. I think there was a chatter talking about it. I never went past it. I think he said 117 MacDougal Street. Let's try to find it. This is West 3rd. We're on the corner of it now. Look at these old homes. So cool, right? It's good that we finally came down here after being in Midtown Manhattan almost every single day for a month. This place just has so much character, diversity, and architecture. It's an awesome place. Let's actually get a little bit closer look. I think there's a few taverns inside. What do you think? Would you live above here? I think I would. This is 127 MacDougal Street. I mean, those windows look all original. You can kind of see the paint kind of chipping off. Imagine living in the very top of there. It's so unique. You're right above a pizzeria though, so it may be loud. You also may get some unwanted guests. I think everybody knows maybe what I'm talking about there. Yeah, Carl's says there's a lot of great mom and pop shops in the neighborhood. All right, let's let's go all the way down MacDougal Street, and we'll just do a full lap around the neighborhood. Yeah, MBA buyers, MBA Alliance's La Botanica is awesome. It's interesting, worthy of a bid. Yeah, for sure. Now, to be fully transparent, it's not my type of style of apartment, but you know, everybody has their own type of style. When I first stepped in there, I was like, wow, this is a beautiful place. But imagine trying to like maintain and clean that place. It's big. 3,000 square feet. So you have the Olive Tree Cafe. Another beautiful building here too. Yeah, I know Kathleen says there is a time limit for the scaffolding. Yeah, I mean, Kathleen, you make a good point. I mean, every single New Yorker talks about how horrible looking the scaffolding is. There's really nothing we could do about it, honestly. Now, the problem with the scaffolding is that the city has different, rules, regulations, and code. Way back in the day, unfortunately, a brick fell off a building and struck a lady and unfortunately killed her. So the building does routine inspections on buildings, and you need to have your facade up to certain city standards. And if you can't do that, if you can't make the repairs, you have to put scaffolding up. And a lot of these landlords don't have the money right away to make those repairs. So that's why you'll kind of see scaffolding all over the place, which is a bit of a bummer, right? I mean, it doesn't look nice. Nobody wants scaffolding. It's just kind of how it has to work. I mean, here's a perfect example right here.
Like different blonde girls that all.
And you can tell too, right? Because the facade, excuse me, the facade is very old. They probably need to do maintenance on this fire escape. It's probably pretty much fallen off the building. Hey, razzle dazzle, what's going on? We're just enjoying the little NYU college town here. Very seldom do we come down here anymore. But hope you're doing well. And hope you had a good, you were in London, by the way. I was looking at that. So cool. So fun. I'd love to go to London. It's a big finance city. I think I'd enjoy it. I feel as if I don't travel as much as I should. If at all, honestly.
I wasn't trying to feel negative about it. I was just like, just go with the reset.
Now, all the way down on Grand Street, we used to have this amazing listing down there. The building, if you want to check it out on Google Maps, 74 Grand Street. Now, the building has its original facade because when the developer bought the building, it was protected, I believe, under the New York City historical. It was like a historic building. So they had to restore the 72-ton cast iron facade. The thing was amazing. Maybe we'll have time to walk past it now. And they made individual condo units, these beautiful Soho lofts. I think if you type !grand, G-R-A-N-D, in the chat, it'll drop the video of what the inside of some of those units look like. It's incredible. It's one of the things I love about Soho. All of those huge cast iron facades. Phil says London is my favorite city in the world. Really? Better than New York, you think? That's interesting. This is Sullivan Street. Tariq says you will find out why New York is the way it is if you go to London. I'll have to check it out. Carol H, the same here, love London. It's on the list, for sure. It's on the list of cities I'd like to go. The only thing, the weather's a bit gloomy, right? It's like almost all year the weather's kind of crummy and miserable. Dutchman says, Tom, if Mark Zuckerberg, let me say this. If Zuckerberg offered you a high-ranking position in Meta, would you consider doing so? Obviously, if the money and benefits were right. Well, a high-ranking position at Meta, I mean, you're talking about multiple seven figures, so probably, yeah, I'd probably do it. Yeah, I'd do it. And then plus, I mean, a high-ranking position in Meta, I'm probably going to be able to work like very close by Zuckerberg, one of the greatest CEOs of all time. No, I don't understand how this guy does it, and we were talking about this before. Like, there's some CEOs out there, I just don't understand how they do all this stuff. Zuckerberg is running one of the most profitable companies in the US, did a complete turnaround. Now, the stock was down 77%, okay? And turned the whole company around, cut 25% of the workforce, doubled down on the advertising business, is still able to spend so much money in R&D on the whole metaverse stuff, the Quest headset, and now the stock's back at all-time record highs. But on top of that, I mean, apparently this guy is like has been studying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's like a killer. Has anybody heard about that? Apparently Mark Zuckerberg has been getting really high level training in martial arts, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, and the guy is like a freaking killer. So I mean, I don't understand how he has time to do all this stuff, but I mean, I guess that's what separates. I mean, I guess that's why the guy's worth $100 billion, right? So yeah, I take the deal for sure. Oh yeah, that's right. Sam M says he was at UFC 298. I saw that. It was they made a meme of that on Twitter. That was funny. I saw that too. Yeah, it's true. It's but it's also encouraging, right? Because it just goes to show you that if you put time and energy into something, you could pretty much, you know, within reason, okay, pretty much accomplish whatever you want to do in the United States. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, I mean, look at photos of him when he was, you know, creating Facebook in his college dorm room at Harvard. He was like a little nothing, like, you know, kid, tech. And now he's this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu killer. It's crazy. Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of cool to watch that evolution. But look, he has the resources, he has the determination, he's a smart guy. You could probably even say genius level. It's cool. All right, let's look for this comedy thing. I know there's a comedy place right to the left. Ooh, I love this street. Now, hold on, let me make sure this is the right. Let me make sure this is the right street. So I was about to tell you guys this interesting story. It is this. This is the correct one. So I was looking at this apartment, and the moment I saw it, I was looking for a client. I knew there was something fishy about it. It was only like $870,000, but the reason is because the way it's zoned, you're not allowed to cook in the apartment. I forget what the exact zoning law was. I think it's in this building, one of the top floor apartments. It's been on the market for like 900 days. Yeah, it's something weird. You can't cook in it. So there's a kitchen in there, but you can't use it. It's illegal to operate it. So it's essentially, if you wanted to live there, it's just, you can't really do much of anything in there. You can't cook in there. There's like a certain temperature limit. It's really strange. I don't even know why it is, but it's right down there. And a lot of people get not suckered into it, but the appeal of visiting it is there because it's in such a great location. But anyway, yeah, this is Cafe something like that. Looks like there's a big show going on tonight. Pretty big line too. Line pretty much goes all the way down the block. Yeah, someone, a real one says 800,000. You can't fix a meal. Hey, you're not allowed to cook in it, and I don't know why that is. But yeah, that's why it's been sitting on the market for so long. Like 950 days on the market it was. This looks like a pizza spot. All right, if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We usually do these streams every night starting at 8:30. And it looks like we have another big show going on over here. Look at this. The line is all the way down the block. You guys see this? Blue Note Jazz. It says jazz capital of the world, Blue Note Jazz. Someone big is probably playing here tonight. Look at how long the line goes all the way down, pretty much all the way to MacDougal Street. Look at that. NBA license, and you even have a microwave in the apartment? You cannot. It's weird. Yeah, I went through the whole process. There was this buyer that loved it. She's like, oh my gosh, this place is perfect. Because it was a quite charming place, right? It was quite nice. But yeah, that's why it's been on the market. There's a caveat. They should probably put that in the listing description so they don't waste anybody's time, but I called the broker and that was why. Anybody been to the Blue Note or the Blue Note Jazz Club?
How many views you got? Right.
It looks like the kind of a place I would want to go. Look at that. It almost looks like there's condos on top. Oh, this is the Comedy Cellar. You know, turn around and give you guys a look at it. I mean, I've obviously walked past this 1,000 times. I never realized it was right here. The Comedy Cellar at the Village Underground. It's pretty cool. Tons of stuff going on tonight. Hey, what's up, Kenny? This is Tom. I looked it up. I'm gonna butcher that pronunciation, but looks cool. I'm surprised they could fit all these people in that little building. All right, let's head a little bit over to the residential area. This used to be one of the most grotesque, repulsive McDonald's on planet Earth. It used to be right here on the corner of 6th Avenue and West 3rd Street, right here. This used to be an absolute horror show right here. Scarier than the Amityville Horror House. Anything you could imagine in your wildest dreams, it was worse at the McDonald's on West 3rd Street. So it's good that that's out of there. All right, let's cross and let's explore a little bit further east. We'll check out some cool restaurants over here. What's up, John? John Sunderland is joining us. Welcome. Great view of the Trade Center. So now that we're back on 6th Avenue, you can see better views of the Empire State Building and the very top of One Vanderbilt. You can see the spire. So this is Cornelia Street. Cornelia Street has been very famous now that, well, previously Taylor Swift used to live right on Cornelia Street, which we will turn down right now, corner of West 4th Street and Cornelia. The apartment's pretty cool too. It has its own driveway. Pretty quiet street. Yeah, Dave's like, Tom, you like jazz? I'll have to check it out. I do like jazz. Now, this is one of the most expensive neighborhoods in the city to live in terms of price per square foot. The Village is very expensive. Now, here was the apartment. Look at that. 23 Cornelia Street. This is a private garage. I just love the charm of these townhomes down here. It's such a nice kind of reprieve from Midtown Manhattan. Everything is floor-to-ceiling glass windows. This is more of a quieter type vibe. Oh yeah, Brad. Congratulations on the Super Bowl win, by the way. Your boy took it home 2 in a row. Maybe they'll do a three-peat next year. You never know. Look at this place. This looks like a little hole-in-the-wall kind of bar restaurant. The facade is really pretty. You know, NBA Live, there's actually quite a few apartments on the market for sale. There's quite a few studios that are actually pretty cool. The only thing is, a lot of the buildings are older down here, so just a little bit of a forewarning. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but just know that the maintenance, you know, anybody who owns a home, right, that may be a little bit on the older side, you're probably gonna have to do some more repairs, some work, and a lot of these buildings are kind of drafty. I have a good buddy who has this incredible brownstone in Brooklyn, like a really, really nice brownstone. And he said the thing constantly needs to be updated, it constantly needs work, it's very drafty. And the thing is a total gut reno too. You know, just, that's the nature of these older buildings, I guess. So, now this is a cool shot. This is right on the corner of Cornelia Street. And this is gonna bring us to Bleecker, and on the other side, that's gonna bring you back to kind of the Washington Square Park area. But we'll head over to Bleecker Street, where you'll see John's of Bleecker, John's Pizzeria. Just know you can't go and order slices there. You gotta order a whole pie. Look at how beautiful this building looks. You can tell the inside is a total gut renovation on the inside too. Things just have a lot of charm and character down here. Here it is, John's of Bleecker, no slices. I know, everything in Miami is Bleecker. Pizza's too good. It's really good. That Cuban place we went to in North Beach was good too. Sazon Cuban, that's my favorite spot in North Beach, Miami. This is Jones Street. There's a few one-bedrooms and studios down here. Some people like the charm of living down here. I think it's actually in this building. If you guys want to look it up, I was helping out a client. 32 Jones. There was a studio or one bedroom in this building. I don't know, not really my style, but I mean, look where you are. You're essentially, the price is for the neighborhood, right? If you look that up, 32 Jones Street, you'll see it on Street Easy. I mean, you're right next to John's of Bleecker. You're pretty much next to, I mean, all the cool hip places down here. So you're really paying for the neighborhood. Really nice block too. I gotta plug in my phone. A little bit of an intermission. All right, should be good. Let me just make sure this is charging. Sarah Cape Cod says, why does it look like nobody lives in the buildings? I would assume a lot of them are pied-à-terres, right? Some of these older buildings have a lot of one bedrooms and studios. Chances are, if you own a one bedroom or studio apartment right here on Bleecker in the Village area, it's either you're a first time home buyer and you're a young kid, or this is a pied-à-terre for you, where you're living in, you know, Calabasas, you're living in Miami, you're living somewhere else in the winter, and then you probably come to your little pied-à-terre during the summer. At least that building, because there's a lot of small units, there's a lot of studios there. This is a good pizza joint too, Bleecker Street. Bleecker Street pizza, not bad. Okay, let's start to head north a little bit.
That's where it's been.
If you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these streams usually every day starting at 8:30 p.m. We'd love to have you along for the ride. Whoa, another long line. Look at that. Across the street, across the way, I should say. Looks like everybody's lined up for this place called Arthur's Tavern. Let's check it out. Should be the Christopher Street 1 train station. In the summer, this neighborhood is always crazy. A lot of nightlife down here, a lot of bars. I'll take you guys past one of the most historic bars down here right now. Usually they actually have it closed off a little bit. It's the Stonewall Inn. right here. Oftentimes the NYPD will block off this entire street, particularly during the summer, because there's so many people at the bars here. They put tables and chairs out in the street, and it's really cool to just take a walk down here in the spring and in the summer. We'll definitely have to come back. When the weather improves a little bit. Yeah, Brad's brain. Yeah, Stonewall Inn is still open. It's open every day. Yep. I'd say it's one of the most historic sites on this strip here. Let me just cross the street without trying to get knocked off by some of these drivers. Hey, Phil says lots of young people, where do they live? Not in a 550K studio. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. You know, a lot of them rent, a lot of them have roommates. I think that studio that just went in contract, one of my buyers was gonna go for that, but I kind of advised against. Because for a little bit more, you can get a 1-bedroom, and it's, you know, it's gonna have better resale value. Those buildings are older. They're older buildings. I like the white facade here. I mean, you could tell it's old. They have window unit ACs. Now, last night, I went to one of the best Italian restaurants I've ever been to in my life. So 2 nights ago, I went to the One Vanderbilt. And yesterday, I forget the name of it. It's around here, but it was awesome. When I remember the name, I'll tell you. But if you go there, you got to get the lobster pasta with the New York strip steak. That was the best New York strip steak I've had in my entire life, and the place isn't even a steakhouse. The place is unbelievable. It's a very small dining room. It's almost kind of like you're in a speakeasy, actually. Let's see if we can find it. I'm horrible with names, but let's see if we can find it. We'll try to walk around. This place is cool too. Look at that. Cool little bar setup. This is Grove Street. Ooh, this place looks cool too. Mark Francis's Monty's in the Village is a great Italian spot. I don't think I've ever been. I will put that on the list though, for sure. But I don't know, first impressions, what do you guys think of the Village or the tour tonight? It's a lot different from Midtown, right? You know, it's good to see the different neighborhoods. Hungry Ghost Coffee. Let's go back the other way, actually. We'll go straight up and head north. Hey, Bill Rollins, what's up? Says good evening. Thanks for joining us. PL says I love the Village. My favorite part of New York City. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite neighborhoods too. In the summer, this place is rocking in the summer. It's awesome, awesome environment. I think there was a new EV Cadillac. I'm trying to figure out where it was. I think we got to go one more over. I think we do. I think it's one more block over. Yeah, Kendall Rs. A lot of people are out late. Tomorrow's the holiday. Market's closed. That's why we're not doing the market to look ahead stream tonight. We'll do that tomorrow night because we have a day off. Thankfully, thank God. Oh, look at how cool that spot is. There's like a little hole in the wall, kind of like bar grill. Has a cool bar back there. It's a cool spot. This pizza spot is very good. This is one I recommend. You guys could take a screenshot of that next time you're in New York City. This place is fantastic, but it's probably gonna have a big line. Big line. It's a fantastic place. Cooking says, do you know any computer programming? I do.
All my job is like to keep people
Not as much as I'd like. I'd say my language of choice is Python. Could always be better though. Definitely could always be better. Okay, this is coming up on Hudson Street. So if you can continue to walk down here, that's the Hudson River. We are so far west tonight. I know Steve Buffalo says, what's the name of the steak place you went to yesterday? So it wasn't a steak place, it was an Italian spot. This is gonna kill me, so I gotta look it up. Hold on, the stream may buffer for a minute, but I gotta find this name for you guys, so give me 2 seconds. Okay, I got it. So it's spelled A-M-B-R-A, Ambra. I'm not sure, I think the stream started to buffer because I exited the application, but that is the place, A-M-B-R-A. Let me put it in the chat. So if you look at the highlighted name in the chat, you will see it. It's spelled A-M-B-R-A. Highly recommend it. Now, it's an Italian spot. So it's an Italian restaurant. It's really known for their pastas, but that was the best New York strip steak I think I've probably ever had, and I'm not even exaggerating that. And the prices aren't too bad. Prices aren't too bad. We'll make a right on West 10th Street.
I went out with.
Look at this place. This is a cool little ale house. Hey, Fire Guys, just looked it up. The menu looks amazing. Oh, dude, it's awesome. You got to check it out. It's well worth it. I would order the lobster pasta and the New York strip steak. And the dining room is cool too, if you want to look it up on Google Images. The dining room is really, really cool.
Yeah, we had a great time with that. It worked.
All right, everybody, let's head back uptown. I gotta go uptown anyway. I might as well take you guys with me. Perry Street. This is the White Horse Tavern. Oh my God, guys, look where we are. This is the spot. That's so funny. I knew it was over here somewhere. So if you want to know where I went to last night, that totally blew me away. Right here on West 11th Street. This restaurant right here. The facade is really, really beautiful. AMBRA. Nice spot. I think they're just closing down now. Yeah, this spot is great.
I saw her holding me.
I sat right at that table where that guy's at right now. All right, let me just put my
Yeah, that was my plan. So the day tomorrow. Oh yeah, I did. All right. You'll take a little support, I know.
And this is actually going to bring us all the way up to Chelsea Market. Ed Dunkel, what's up? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Carol H says I'll write it down. I want to try it the next time I'm in the city. Highly recommend it. You won't be disappointed. And the restaurant's in a good location, right? You can really make a day out of it. So what I would suggest, what we did is we went to Chelsea Market and walked around, which is a great place. I mean, there's so many new places in Chelsea Market, and I was getting FOMO because there was so many cool restaurants. So many cool like bakery shops. I mean, this place was so cool. And then we had like 6 o'clock dinner reservations, and you just walk straight down here. So it's definitely no shortage of things to do. Now there's this noodle place inside Chelsea Market that I really wanted to try, but the line was just way too long. I know, PLA 30, this is when you go into Chelsea Market, it's like you want to buy everything. Pretty much, it's kind of how the experience was yesterday. You also have these really cool Belgian block streets. Gives the nice original charm down here. And look at that perfectly centered view of the Empire State Building. Really cool. Everything in Miami says, can you just park on the street? Yeah, you could park on the street. You just got to look at the signs. Sometimes it's, 2-hour metered parking, things like that. Now, this is all cool, like meatpacking district. Really cool stuff down here. Now, I got another restaurant recommendation for all of you. Now, I'm being a little bit biased because it's my friend's restaurant, but check out this place called Mel's, M-E-L-S. And if you actually do decide to go and you're in the city, send me an email before you go, and I'll let my buddy know that you're coming. And he will have you try everything on the menu. They'll do tasting and he'll hook you up. So if you're near Chelsea Market, check out the restaurant called Mel's, M-E-L-S. So this right in front of us, everybody, I believe is one of the biggest Reserve roasteries. It's called the Starbucks Reserve Roastery Store. Let's check it out. And this is pretty much the heart of meatpacking district right here. You have the Apple Store. I think it's a three-story Apple Store too. Yeah, right in here. I think it's still open. Maybe it just closed. This is one of the largest Starbucks locations. It is the Reserve Roastery. It's almost like a museum in this place. It's incredible. You could pretty much spend the whole day here. This is just one part of the store. It goes all the way to the back. There's a downstairs too in the basement. It's pretty cool. and it wraps around all the way down here. You can see where they have all the beans in the back, and they have a whole bar. So they have coffee infused cocktails. It's a really cool place to kind of visit. I will say it is a bit pricey though, not gonna lie, so just keep that in mind. And here is Google. This is Google's headquarters right here. I'm not sure if their YouTube office is right there too. We'll see. This is West 16th Street, and here it is, the big bad Google themselves. I think everybody's in line for Tao. They have one on the east side. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these streams every day starting at 8:30. Oh, look at that. So if you look at the very, very top left-hand corner of your screen, that's New York City's Hudson Yards. And you can see the Edge
I already paid for one. You gonna give him one?
development. Yeah, Alan's like, the office definitely looks expensive. Understand why they're forcing everybody back to the office for sure. So we actually have a new development project right up here on West 19th Street. If you want to check it out, I filmed a property tour of one of the main penthouses in our building. You can check it out. What is it? Oh, he's not talking to me. Thought he was talking to me. But anyway, yeah, if you go to our channel, you can check it out. The video of the, what I like to call the West Chelsea penthouse. It's pretty stunning. I think you guys will like it. We're the building that's right adjacent to the Lantern House, which is the best, well, one of the best selling buildings right along the High Line there. Corcoran Sunshine has that listing. Plug in my phone again. Hey Joe, this is Tom. Do I sell properties around South Street Seaport? Yeah, I do. Oops. All right, we're almost back home. I think when we get to 23rd Street, we'll start making our way back in. I should say over towards the east side of Manhattan. Two more blocks. Okay, West 23rd Street. We'll make a right here and go all the way over to 3rd Avenue, where we will then make another left. And we will be home. Someone says, what's the wildest thing I've ever seen? Well, I can't say it. Can't say it on the stream. But I can tell you where it was. It was on the subway. The craziest, wildest, over-the-top nonsense was seen on the New York City subway. Look at how cool this shot is here. You can see the Empire State Building right in between these buildings. Super cool shot. Look at that. Really cool. Sharon says spill it. I wish. I can't. Unfortunately, it is X-rated. If you use your imagination, the craziest thing you could possibly think, tack on about 35%, and then that's probably what I saw. Lots of comments about the truckers tonight. All right, everybody. Chances are, okay, if you're typing in the chat, Did you hear about the truckers? Did you hear about the truckers? Hey, did you hear about the truckers? I can guarantee you somebody's already typed that comment tonight multiple times. Yes, we are aware of the truckers. We get it. We understand the truckers, okay? There's not much I could do about the truckers. Walks on Wall Street, Tom here, Walks on Wall Street. I can't do anything about it. It's it. But we are aware of the truckers, okay? It's on the radar. That I can tell you. Wow, it looks like the C&E train is closed for some reason. Look at that, it's all roped off. Oh, now this is 278 8th Avenue. This looks like a new dev. I'll have to do some research into what exactly that is. This is Hotel Chelsea. I think there's also some rent stabilized apartments in here where some people are paying like $200 a month. Dan saying, says, Tom, are you going to be busy tomorrow on President's Day? Yeah. I'm going to be at 1 Wall Street all morning. And then I got to do a lunch. But hopefully in the evening I'll have time to just chill, because I've been going nonstop all weekend. Jake's Saloon. All right, I need to go to East 30th Street. I'll take you guys with me, but hopefully you all enjoyed the West Village tonight. It was kind of cool to escape Midtown Manhattan. Hey, look who it is. It's Laytha. Long time no see. Hope you're well. Yeah, Troy Atman. We're picking up the pace a little bit. I'm gonna try to get to bed at a reasonable hour. I know it's getting late already. It's like 11 o'clock. Okay, we're back to 5th. This is the 23rd Street Path train station. That will take you over to New Jersey. Hey, what's up, Penelope?
Nah, he didn't choose that. She chose
Hey, Frank. Good to see you. From Scotland. Very cool. Take a detour here. I think that homeless guy is messing with the sanitation workers. I don't think that's a good idea. God. You see that sanitation guy with this huge metal pipe and this homeless guy harassing them. I don't think that's a really good risk reward setup for the guy. But we'll head over one more. It's a cool spot. All right, everybody. Well, that was a fun stream. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. If you enjoyed the live stream, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these live streams every day starting at 8:30 p.m. And if you want to sign up to receive our free investing newsletter, where we also cover the New York City real estate market and give you a behind the scenes look on some of our most exclusive property tours in New York City, feel free to scan the QR code on your screen and punch in your email, and that will bring you to our Substack. We publish every other Thursday, right as the market closes. So thanks so much for coming on. We will see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful President's Day. Western Mass Dave, Joseph Hardaway, Lay the, appreciate it, Minnesota Walking, Tom Barry, NMB 45, Lori Crockett Owens, all of our moderators, Joe Driver, Hawaii, Out and About, appreciate it. Carol H, hopefully I'll see you down in Miami soon. Ronix 446, NBA Elias, Fun Feeds, Brad, Sharon, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Always a bull market somewhere. You just need to know where to look. Take care.